This is intense as shit.
I like your ankles. Never seen them before.
I am calling Ronan Farrow.
Yeah. That's not. I didn't say that your ankles are sexy. I'm just saying I've never seen your ankles before.
No, I'm offended because I know you're attracted to disgusting things.
Normally. Your ankles are pretty cool. Yeah. I just don't like the thick ones. You know what I mean? I like your ankles too, babe.
Thick ankle?
I hate cankles, man. I hate it when it blends into the foot. It's like.
Put this here.
Yeah. Create a bridge or, you know what I mean? Or, you know, I just need that.
Are you doing an impression of Howard Stern? What's happening?
No, I'm not. I'm just, no, we're not even on. I'm
Can
just.
I take this off? I'm so.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't
you're
been
panicking.
around people a lot. Like, have you noticed, like, how feral we are now?
Oh,
That
crazy.
When I go around people, I'm really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I can't even like sustain eye contact with people. I have to like.
Or I do too much of it. Like I ask someone how they are, and I like want to know the answer, which is new.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just.
I feel bad for like.
Do I have to put this on? These on?
If you want to. Like the homeless.
Can
like.
you just can you be the boss?
Yeah. Like,
why do I have to?
I just want to say about the homeless.
Oh,
there's
can I
homeless
borrow
at the
a charger?
7-Eleven.
I'm gonna claim my space. Can I borrow a charger from someone?
Got you one.
Thank you.
COVID is a good excuse not to give money, by the way.
Of what?
To homeless. Because they always they go, hey, and I go, no, COVID, I have a mask. You know what I mean? It's a really good way, a good out. We're not even. Are we recording?
I don't think that's worth working on.
Look, I'm just throwing it out there, man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think there's something there.
No, there's
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely-
Hey, no, I got, I'm
Thank
fine.
you so much, dude. You are so famous to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're such a celebrity
Let's
to
work
me.
on the pit. So, COVID and homeless.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just so
Let's make it
hacky.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just too hacky.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. COVID and homeless.
Yeah.
I haven't done this show in a while.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Is it on? Are we rolling?
Yeah, we've been rolling,
Oh,
and we're going to
good.
keep
This
every
is
single
hot
thing that we've
content.
done.
This is fucking great.
Hey, fuck you. Anyway, do the countdown.
Five, four, three, two,
Testing. Welcome to another episode of TigerBelly. I am your captain. I'm the supreme leader in this house. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to sound autocratic, right? But I am. I also want to say, don't forget to vote. When is this
It's
airing?
coming out 2 weeks after the election.
But I hope you didn't forget. I hope you didn't forget to vote.
Dancing with the Stars might still.
Yeah. We've got all the cast of characters in the room. We've got George. We've got plump Gilbert. I like the plumpness.
Hey, Kath.
Yeah. And my beautiful soon-to-be wife.
What?
What?
I haven't proposed.
Since
No,
when?
announce
I
it
haven't
right
proposed
now.
yet.
That's so
Will you
rude. That
marry
just
me?
seems spring.
Will you marry me?
Wait,
Is it because I'm here?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, he's just.
you gonna propose?
When?
No.
He has
Well,
not.
today
and he
she gave
will
me a
not. Today,
today
Have
she
you
gave me a
ever talked
shit.
about getting engaged?
No.
No,
And I'm
well-
just throwing it
I
out
mean,
there.
yeah.
This is the first time it's ever come up in your shitty intro?
Yeah.
Whitney,
You're
this
the
is how our
catalyst.
conversations about engagement go.
Okay.
We see a picture of somebody we know get
You
engaged.
write comments.
Today
get
was
And then
Blake
we
Shelton,
say- Blake
Blake
Shelton,
Shelton
Gwen
and
Stefani.
fucking Jordy. What's her name?
Jordy Stefani.
Yeah, Jordy
Gwen.
Stefani.
And then he goes,
Wait. What? Who's Jordy Stefani? You guys just let them say words all the time?
Gwen Stefani
Gwen
from
Stefani,
the
Gwen
No
Stefani.
Doubt.
You said Jordan.
You said Jordy.
he was about to say George Stefani.
Yeah.
Why?
I forgot
George
her name.
Stephanopoulos?
No.
Did you relapse?
No, here's the thing, Whitney, all right? I am a performer that I don't edit, right? So in my head, I'm like, what's the word? I don't have that like little filter, right? So I just, whatever I think, I say.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. That's why we're in a garage.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
know.
we're doing a podcast
But so what
in
I'm
the garage.
saying to you is that, I'm no longer, I'm not filtering, you know what I mean? Words, because sometimes I'll go, what's the word? And then at that point, the comedy's gone and the momentum's gone.
Yeah, but the truth is also gone.
That's true. That's,
yeah, and the being a functioning adult is gone.
I understand.
So the people that are listening to this have to know what the fuck you're saying.
Jordy LaForge Stefani, right?
You talk for a living. What you say needs to like be in the like ballpark of true.
Hey,
friend.
Hey, old friend.
Hey, call me old one more time. Watch me break this fucking COVID glass.
Hey, old wrinkly ass friend. Okay. I want to tell you something. All right.
Okay.
That I
wait. You're not gonna work. Did you just propose to Khalyla?
I did not propose,
No.
but I'm throwing it out there in the universe now.
But why haven't you proposed?
Throw it at me. Don't throw it on to
I'm
me.
But
gonna
you know that
propose.
you would save money in taxes if you were married.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are you such a bad businessman?
One day I'm going to propose to you, baby, and I'm throwing it out there.
But why haven't you already?
Because I can't even go to Starbucks. I don't know how to get to the ring store. I can't even. I don't know. I've never.
Bobby goes to buy an engagement ring, comes back with a Nuva ring.
yeah.
So you don't know how to buy an engagement ring?
I've never done it before. So the one time I bought her a fucking ring, right? I fucked it up. I gave it to her. She opened it up and she laughed in my face.
That's not true. He had relapse. This is when he had relapse. He was high out of his mind. He decided to gallivant around Hollywood or wherever the fuck he was,
downtown.
Beverly Hills High, and he stopped by. He just happened to cross a jewelry store, and he came home.
That's
I want to show you
absolutely
the
not
ring.
true.
It's like a jade ring this big.
Very Chinese.
Like it's like one of the things that hangs like
Yes.
for
Yeah.
like a disc, like a jade disc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not even for fingers.
Yeah, I just thought it looked very like sci-fi. You know what I mean?
It made him happy,
It made me happy, and also it made me feel nice.
but it wasn't.
You've been happy before?
Yeah, and it was like expensive. It was like $4,000. Just hear me out.
I know,
So
but-
I see something sci-fi, something that like a Romulan would wear.
Yeah.
Right, and I go, I think Khalyla's mad at me because I relapsed. Right.
I didn't
So
even
I'm
know
gonna
at that point that you had relapsed.
I know, but I knew it was coming. I knew the revelation was coming.
Future.
So
Right. So that's how you
okay.
survive, right, Gilbert?
So, but you
Predict
know
the
that if
future.
you want to propose, you would call like a friend like me and say like, "Hey, can you help me go ring shopping?" Like, have you seen movies? Have you auditioned? You've been in some of these shitty movies that are about weddings.
I understand that. But like, for instance, I watch movies and I see karate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And karate in real life doesn't really work that way. Like Gymkhana, you can't, or let's say something that people can understand, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
You don't think people can? Your
You
fans
can't
can
really
understand?
run on rooftops and
You
fucking
just
street shops.
patronized your audience.
So
in a
movies are
wild
movies.
way.
So movies, right? They exaggerate, you know what I mean? The experience. So no, I don't know how to fucking propose. All right? I don't know how to do it. And when I do it, I will give you a jingle. Okay? I'll jingle you and go, yo, what's up, dude? Right? How do you do this shit?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
But you know, the first step is throwing it out in the fucking universe. All right? And I did that. And let me ask you something, my friend. My wrinkly, old, fucking, tired friend.
I'm not tired. I have actually, for the first time in my life, the silver lining of the pandemic, like,
Yeah.
I am so well rested, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm on cocaine.
Oh, really?
I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't realize how deeply like tired I was on like a cellular level.
Yeah.
Like I've been getting 8 hours of sleep for like 6 months.
Yeah, you look
And
great.
I look amazing.
I know you do.
I've never looked better.
Yeah.
People are like, did you get a facelift? I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. You're doing your like Harley Quinn haircuts too.
Oh yeah, I kind of threw in the towel with the hair. The hair's good because something kind of magical happens when you have crazy pink hair. People stop asking you for advice. Like people used to always call me for like career advice and ask me to like babysit their kids and like
Yeah.
nothing now.
Yeah, but I do. I don't have a lot of friends, as we know.
That's not like what is this?
No, but
shit?
I'm just gonna tell you something.
But it's not.
I'm gonna give you a
true.
compliment.
Do you think that's making you likable?
Yeah.
Like you're.
I'm gonna give you a compliment.
Just hold on. I know. I don't need one. I feel.
But I
great
wanna
about
give
myself.
one. May I
But
give
hold on.
one?
But
Okay,
but
go ahead.
I'm not letting you do this bit where you say like I don't have any friends. I'm so lonely. I don't like you have so many friends.
All
You have a
right.
ridiculous number of friends.
Oh my God! All right.
No one feels sorry for you.
you're doing-
You're rich.
You're doing
This
the
is
thing-
over,
This-
dude. The war is over. You lost.
All right. I have a lot of friends.
The fact
I'm
that
changing it.
You're trying to say I don't have a lot of friends, but in front of a painting of yourself.
Yeah.
You've this is
All right.
this is obsolete.
Whit.
Will?
Will Whit.
Smith?
Do you know my
Yeah,
name?
yeah. Wait, I want to say that I have a lot of friends, but I don't have a lot of friends that I can come with problems and advice.
Too. Yeah, because your friends are degenerates. I'll
They're
give you that.
degenerates.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
I
like,
agree.
you know.
Your friends are
I don't want to get
mentally
into
ill.
why, but about 3 weeks ago, I went to your house.
That's
right?
right.
Because I needed counsel.
That's right.
And I needed backing. And I needed, some assurances.
Yeah.
And you are one of the people that I would go to if I had a situation where I needed to ask some questions, and you would be that friend, okay?
Even with pink hair.
Even with pink hair, okay?
I feel like he
my
trusts
question
you more
to
with
you
pink
is
hair.
that why don't you have a baby? Because somebody show her the video.
great
Show her-
question.
Show her the video.
The video?
Okay.
Good question. Where's this video going to play?
It's
Oh,
gonna
I'm gonna hold it up.
He's gonna hold
Where'd
it
you
up.
email that one, right?
Oh.
Where am I looking?
Yeah, he's gonna give it to you.
Also, I didn't know we're doing it now, Bobby.
texting
We're
me?
halfway
Yeah,
through-
Yeah, I was like, you just sprung that out
Sprung
of
that on me.
nowhere.
No, because
the
it was a good
baby
segue
thing.
into it.
This is the most stressful.
You've been really tense this whole time.
I am so stressed out. Bobby's
Go ahead,
energy is
frame it.
brutal.
Right, it's great. It's
Yes.
great. It's great energy. Go ahead.
He's gonna send it to me 1 second.
You haven't even sent it.
Okay, well, we'll move
We'll talk
on.
about something else, and then when you
Yeah,
do,
I'll pull it
put your
up.
hand
I'll
up in
put
your
my-
hair
I'll
like
raise-
this.
But you
Not
did
like that.
no. Bobby, you came over because I was having these COVID tested stand up shows at my house.
Yes.
Bobby came and you like brought me into my own garage
yeah.
and like sat me down and was like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I had
I had a real problem. I don't want to talk about the
so
problem.
boring, but I sat
I know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Here we go.
Is that Polly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it. When are you gonna have a baby? Because I know that you've said it before. It's been in your mind. When are you gonna have one?
I love this. I love when men pressure other men for kids.
I love you. I'm
honestly-
obsessed with you.
With who?
With who?
I know
Jeff?
that's.
With who?
Well, here's the thing, okay?
I wanted to have one with Whitney.
Whitney Cummings? Yeah.
Wait,
Why?
Isn't
She's
she
got the
considering
eggs.
it?
Yeah, no, she's got eggs that are frozen.
Oh, that's right.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Like, dude, like here, like let's go. Like, what,
Yeah.
like what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Without her carrying it, like with a surrogate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it with her.
And did you ask her?
We talked about it.
And what did she say?
She's dodgy, bro.
Yeah.
Very dodgy.
Yeah.
Says the man whose mom paid us $15 a spot.
Yeah.
Dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also said he'd go on a hunt to the fertility clinic
To get my
and
eggs?
steal
To
your
get your
eggs.
eggs, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He really wants.
By the
that-
way, as he should.
do you have eggs?
I have eggs frozen, yes.
You do?
Yep.
And-
now I'm not going to say where they are. But now
Why would it hurt, right?
Uh-huh.
If-
I have 17 eggs on ice.
Why would it hurt that the man, right, whose family provided us
The
a
comedy
venue,
store, yeah.
a venue to hone our craft?
Yeah. The very place that made it so I haven't had biological children by now.
Yeah.
It's only natural that I would freeze eggs with the DNA that brought that into existence. Yeah. The
Yeah.
place that I've been sexually assaulted the most. It only makes sense that I were to carry.
Yeah.
So you want me to get raped by the comedy store?
yeah, but you're not going to be carrying the baby. We'll get a surrogate.
Right.
Right.
Like Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
Who's gonna care? Who's gonna be my surrogate?
Esther Pavinsky?
Vicky Barbalak.
Yep. Vicky Barbalek. Vicky would do it.
Esther Pavitsky, Annie Letterman would be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she'd
Annie,
be
Yep.
good. Yeah.
100 grand to Annie Letterman who
Yeah, she
carried
would do
me
it.
and Polly's
That would be
baby.
great.
That'd be pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, I'm looking at a new model for procreating, and I'm into this vibe.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I am so obsessed with you, Khalyla. Like, I'm obsessed with you. I'm jealous of your face, but I'm obsessed with you. I wanted to not like you in the beginning. I really did. It's amazing. Like, it's just like, can't not like her.
Yeah. Look.
Why are you cutting me off? I'm saying something profound.
He wanted to show you his dead dad.
Is this your dad's ashes?
At our podcast room. In our podcast room.
Yeah.
Next to his coffee.
Yeah. So, there he is.
How much?
What do you mean, how much?
How much to tell me that?
Well, I'll give it to you for free. I don't give a fuck. I'll be on his ashes. Here, Dad. Here you go.
How much to buy your dead dad?
We don't
Like,
know.
for real,
It's only
for real.
half of
Oh, it's
the
half.
body, so
Yeah,
we don't
because
know
it's
if
only
it's
the
upper
bottom
half or the lower half.
It's the bottom half. It's the bottom half of my dad's body. My brother has the upper half. All right.
Why? How did
Because
that?
I didn't want. We said this before. Because I don't want. If my dad was a ghost,
By the way, this
I'd
is
rather
the
have
one
legs.
thing you can say again in a
yeah. If there was a ghost, right, I would rather have legs haunting my house than the upper body.
Good point.
Why the legs are the only part that can get anywhere.
That's true.
Why the upper body can't go anywhere? The upper body is the perfect ghost.
Yeah, and I know. I don't know how ghosts work, but from the
Clearly you do.
From
You
the
made
movies.
a pretty big decision based on
yeah. But from
pretending
the
to-
movies that I see, right, like Ghostbusters and whatnot, it's the upper body. They can flow and whatnot, right, and they can come in and out of rooms.
So you'll take advice from movies when it comes to ghosts, but not a pastry.
I want to go back to your dad.
Yeah, no, we're
That
doing this.
guy.
We're,
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah, we're gonna
we're
do
gonna be here for a while. We'll just just like deep breaths. So before my dad died, I didn't have any like compulsion to procreate. Like I didn't like the biological clock. Like I just didn't have it. Like babies, like I didn't feel anything when I saw babies. Like I asked my therapist if I was a psychopath, and she was like, "Psychopaths don't come to therapy and ask if they're psychopaths, you know, whatever." And my instinct towards rescuing dogs is so intense, like it's so primal. It's such a deep, like ancestral thing. Like it's, like I'm the bitch that like breaks car windows if a dog is inside in a hot car. Like it's not even like a choice, and like I'm not trying to be a martyr or a hero or get attention about it, like because it's not. It's like I'm possessed. Like it's not even me. Like I truly don't believe it's like me making the choice. It's like when all the Woolsey fire stuff happened. Like I just got in the car and went. Like I drove through a fire. Like it wasn't. I don't even remember it. I like blacked out. So I was like, oh, like having my own kid feels kind of like because there's so many kids in foster care and there's so many kids that need to be that need homes. It was like I just kind of felt like having my kid was like buying a dog from a breeder. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And I always thought I was gonna rescue a kid the way I rescue dogs. And I was like looking into foster care in like West Virginia and stuff. And then my dad died, and it was like everything changed. It was like it has to look like me.
Yeah.
It was like some like thing, you know. It was like a really strong compulsion to make one that looked like him.
Yeah.
I don't know if something in your like DNA or our brains like activates when we lose our primary caretaker, where
Yeah.
now you're like have to breed.
Yeah, like for me, she's brought up adopting. What I
That's
need.
all I've ever thought I would
listen,
do too.
I'm willing.
I didn't have no sensation in my
Is your
body.
dad alive?
No, he passed when I was 19. So when
Are you sure? He didn't fake it.
I
Could have faked his death.
he could have.
That's some shit your family would do.
yeah.
yeah.
The nice pick.
Yeah.
But
But her dad had her when he was 60.
60. So I have a lot of resentment about
yeah.
having.
How are you not autistic?
Yeah.
I am. I have excessive blinking, and I have
Old sperm is the main link to
It's
autism
true.
now.
What
I
do they
think.
call
I'm
it?
She's a
It's
blink
scientist.
machine. It drives me crazy.
Am I in QAnon? I think. Please Google that, you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm a product of old sperm.
Yeah.
I have a lot of both like physical ailments, but also a lot of like weird kind of on the spectrum stuff,
Yeah,
where it's like
yeah.
I'm seemingly like functional, but I have a lot of weird tics. I have
and
like
I'm just
excessive
like
bleeding.
stunning and like collagen, overproduction of collagen.
But my dad had me old, and I spent half of my life really resenting him for dying in front of me because the last,
Huge.
So I never had any sensation in my body that ever pointed towards the direction of motherhood. I was like, nope, I'm going to adopt. I have an adopted sister, want to do that. Until he came and he was like, we need to have something because he wants a replica of himself. And I don't want that because we both come from drugged out families.
Yeah, but what
criminal
but
families.
It's like nature and nurture. It's like you have to, like, you guys will break the cycle. You know, there's something so triumphant and amazing about breaking.
I'm not going to hit my kid.
No, we know that. But
not-
I'm just
yeah,
saying
which is what
our
happened to
genetic
me.
predispositions are not great.
But let's get into that because it's like I concur with you. Come from alcoholics, West Virginia, Appalachia trauma, like coal
Yeah.
mining trauma, alcoholism, tons of addiction. Like, and it's genetics loads the gun, environment pulls the trigger,
Yeah.
right? So it's like our guns are loaded, but I don't think the environments we create are going to pull the trigger. You know, because it's like you guys have done so much work on yourself. You know, it's like you also there's something kind of amazing about breaking the cycle, and you guys doing one and then adopt like 10 more. But
I want an athletic one.
He's banking on my athleticism because I was a
No,
Division
but
One swimmer.
even if our baby comes out like me, like roly-poly, right? You know, if it
Yeah.
just rolls
Remember
out of the bag. Right.
I'm having a flashback at the Comedy Store where Steve Burns said, Bobby Lee has the body of a scallop.
Yeah. And it hurts.
Sorry.
But I want one to roll out and go, hey, and open itself up. And I'll go, okay, that now, and then we can adopt afterwards.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a really quick break to share some of our favorites.
Manscaped!
Oh yeah.
You guys, I love to shave my genital area and some hair on my chest. When I do shave my body, the only product that I use is Manscaped. All right, because it's the one that shaves it the best. I don't get little bumpy bumps on my body. I love it. Right. 2020 is nuts. Am I not right?
So nuts.
But that doesn't mean you should disregard your beautiful nuts. Your nuts are the fucking crown jewels of your testimony.
Yeah.
Manscaped is on a mission to take care of your twins with their below-the-waist grooming and hygiene products. And they just released their products in the UK, Canada, and Australia. All right? They also just released the Crop Care Kit, which is a formulation bundle to give you A-plus balls and is the ultimate male hygiene hack. The Crop Care Kit includes the Crop Preserver, which I use, the ball deodorant, and that name speaks for itself. The Crop Reviver Ball Toner is spray-on toner that will give your balls a little slice of heaven with their aloe vera and hazel extracts. All right?
Extract.
And also the Crop Cleanser body wash, a full body wash that can also use on your hair. Right? And the Crop Mop, the last one I want to say, ball wipes. You never know when the opportunity strikes, so you should always be prepared of wiping your nutsacks.
I have one more that I
Go
think
ahead.
is really important, is the foot duster.
Oh,
And it's a
sure.
foot deodorant. And this is a free gift. It's designed to keep the stinkiest feet smelling fresh. The Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer offers a replaceable ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, which helps reduce grooming accidents. Tell us more about it.
Close it out.
These formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free, so you know your manhood is in good hands. Get 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TigerBelly. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TigerBelly. Add some swag to your saggy bag.
That's right.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Wait, how old were you when you froze?
33.
That's what they say is like the perfect
Some
age,
miracle.
right?
I had like a miraculous, I was like working on a movie. It's so ironic because, you know, I always say the war is over, you lost. It was a movie called This Means War with Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine,
Tom Hardy?
and Tom Hardy, who is an underrated comedic actor. He's actually great. And I was in the trailer with Natasha Leggero and Dana Fox.
Cook?
No.
Dane Cook, yes.
I like this guy.
It was Just for Laughs Vegas. And Dana, who was the writer of the movie, it was like very weird, and I was still kind of unconscious at the time. Like I hadn't been in a program yet. I hadn't been any kind of like done any work on myself. I was just still like run by fear and adrenaline, and she was just like, you need to freeze your eggs. Like she was going through some fertility stuff that she's been very public about. And she's like, you need to freeze your eggs. And I was just like, what is happening? Like I just wanted so badly to get her approval because I just wanted her to hire me because she was like she's a super powerful writer. And I was like, okay, I'll freeze my eggs. And I like kind of just did it to make her like me because I thought I was networking for a job.
Oh my God.
I thought I was like, I guess I'll go freeze my eggs for $20,000 so she'll put me in a movie. This is the way that it's like no one has talked about in Hollywood they've talked about the men abusing. We haven't talked about the women that make other women abuse them because they're so codependent. So I wanted her approval so badly that I kind of just did it like for her so she'd like me so I could be friends with her. Like I didn't even want to freeze my eggs. I didn't get it. She was just like lecturing me and Natasha Leggero to do it.
Yeah.
So I did it. And
That's how Natasha did it, right? I mean, she froze her eggs as well, right?
yeah, I don't know her story.
Okay.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, because I remember
I know
her.
Christina Pazitsky did.
Yes.
And she told me years ago, she was like, you have to do it now.
Because when I went in, there was some like magic that happened where I went in and Andy, Huang, how do you pronounce it?
Huang.
Andy Wong.
Wang. Yeah.
I think it's Huang,
Wang, yeah.
right? I just like I
Andy.
fucking cancel me, dude. Fine. Can you imagine? I got canceled
Over
on
Wong?
TigerBelly. Like this was the clip that they rolled of me mispronouncing my fertility doctor's name. And I went into his office. He's like the guy. He does the Kardashians and he's the guy. And you go in and he takes out these starbursts, all these like different. I wrote about this in my book. And he like takes them out and he's like, the yellow starbursts are the eggs that you have, and he like spells it out, and the red starbursts are the ones how many you're gonna have when you're 35. And he does like a visual.
Why that specific candy?
It's a great question. I don't know.
Why not
Different
Skittles?
color
This is-
wrappers.
Why not Skittles?
Because that's unsanitary.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's
they're
move on.
wrapped.
That's
That would be disgusting.
Okay,
that
that's
would
fine.
you should not have children.
This is information
they
I need
just-
to know in the story.
If you think that's a good idea, you shouldn't have kids.
Okay.
That would be fucking gross. And then he said to me, and he was like, this is the perfect time because this isn't going to be for your first kid or even your second kid. This will probably be for your third kid when you're like 42, 43, and you're like, I want one more. Right? So it's like you can have two naturally before then if you want, or if you want to put in a surrogate or whatever. But now the technology just became available that you can freeze. Is this such an elitist conversation?
No.
I mean, hopefully this is going to be covered by insurance soon. That's like why I wrote about it in the book, to get insurance companies to start covering it. Like Google, I think maybe covers it for their employees. Like women, like there's this conversation about like women in the workplace, and like that can never happen until women freezing their eggs is covered by insurance, right? So he said that now you can freeze eggs and they can hold for 10 years and won't get freezer burn. This is just such a weird thing to say, but because a lot of times when you thaw them, they get
they're no good.
destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's only till recently that you want to do your youngest eggs. My ones when I was 33 will hold for 10 years and they'll still be 33-year-old eggs. So you want to freeze them when they're as young as possible.
Of those 17 eggs, like what is the percentage of like survivability when they thaw it out?
It's like 30%. Because some of them are like have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Some of them like
How do you know?
They're
dethaw.
able to look at it and
Yeah.
really look into the viability of the egg.
Yeah, there's gonna be some that don't take.
Don't do
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
If do not what? Do not.
I'm not.
Do not.
I wasn't there.
Are you making fun of my retarded egg?
No.
Are you gonna try to make?
I'm just saying, if you do look in the mic and it's
There it
like,
is.
You know what I mean?
Knew it.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Have you seen the movie Basket Case, the
No.
horror movie?
No, is it good?
Wow. Yeah, there's this character called Belial, which is like the twin that the main character ate in the womb, and it like goes around with him in a basket. Look up Belial,
Yeah.
Basket Case, and it's just this like head.
Yeah.
It's like just like a blob. So so you have a higher percentage. So you guys in December, like I'm just thinking over the holidays when things are dead,
Yeah.
you could freeze embryos. Because that's going to be a higher percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. So when
That's
it looks like that, you
That's
know-
a great movie. Your fans know
Yeah.
Basket Case.
Okay.
This is a great
I'm gonna
horror
watch that
movie.
tonight.
It's a wild horror movie.
Yeah. So can I ask you another question?
I mean, I drove
you
all the
wanna
way
be our
fucking
flirt-
like what? No.
You're a fertility consultant. He
Yeah.
honestly needs to be spoken to, like when it comes to anything like woman related. He needs to be spoken to like a fucking 5-year-old. He just does
Well,
not
we're all
understand
5. We're all 5.
like basics. I'm not sure he understands like how conception works.
Yeah, I do.
But I just think
Are
if you
you out
guys,
of your
if you
fucking
want, why
mind?
don't you just freeze embryos in December so you can stop thinking about it for a couple?
I have
Now I
millions
have a
of
question for you.
sperm.
Do you
It
think
swims through the tunnels of life, right? It meets the ovary, right?
There you go.
One of them, right? The champion, right? The gold medalist, right?
Michael Phelps. Yeah.
Michael Phelps of the group, right? Busts through, right? Gets in.
how?
What?
What's the environment of the vagina? Acidic or alkalinic?
It's a combination of both. That was a trick question.
There we go.
No,
Good.
no, no.
Nope.
There's a little alkaline, no.
A little what? A little what?
And worse is Sydney.
Are you on birth control?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But I've had abortions I've aborted 2 of his babies.
Really?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, because I have the second time around, I had just gotten an ablation in my
What are you, a
heart to
Christian?
burn
Look at
off.
your face. What the fuck?
No, I know I'm very pro-choice unless it's your baby. You killed my godchildren. This is like that really. Is this what pro-life people
I think so.
feel? Because pro-life people, we have to remember, like they truly believe we're killing babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they truly believe like they have a different definition, but it's like I actually feel so much compassion for pro-life people because that's how I would feel if I thought babies were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
I
Like
talk-
that just hurt my heart so much to hear that.
I talk about it
I
very
hate you.
lightly because like I never want to like stigmatize the idea
Yeah,
of
no,
abortion.
I mean-
But the truth is, the first time that we needed to get an abortion and I needed to get a bronchoscopy because I had a mass in my lungs, and they didn't get a pregnancy test. I got it done. I was fully
So
I got a bronchoscopy and I was pregnant and I was fully sedated and I was under anesthesia.
you didn't know you were pregnant?
No, I didn't know I was pregnant. So just by virtue of being under and knowing that I had only been 3 weeks, 4 weeks pregnant, I was like, there's no way. I don't want to even risk moving forward with this. That was the first abortion. The second one, it was right after
Did they just do it right then and there?
No. I got it done like privately.
Yeah.
Because we had considered it. Where I was like, well, let's think about it. The second time around, I had a heart ablation and they burned off abnormal tissue in my heart because I was having an arrhythmia. And when I got pregnant, we were actually like, oh, this is it. We're going to do it. And because it was so soon after my ablation and my arrhythmias were just really, really not going away, my doctor, without explicitly saying so, he says this would be a really tough time for you to be pregnant. And so obviously they can't tell you ever either way, but I took
You
that
get
and
pregnant
said,
really easily. I think that was the main when I had that reaction. It was more like you get pregnant so easily. Like,
But my concern now is because I've had 2 abortions, just how the universe works when we actually do want one.
but how the universe works is if you put say
I've been
something,
unloading-
it's gonna happen.
Oh, you're right. I take
Whitney,
it back.
I've been,
I take it back.
Whitney,
Like-
I've been unloading in the box.
You have not unloaded. I don't let you unload.
Yeah, but I've been secretly unloading sometimes.
You can't do that. That's not good.
Where does it go?
No, I don't unload like fully, right? But I just do a little squirt
no,
Goes
you-
where?
in her vagina.
Yeah, but isn't there pre-cum that comes out first regardless?
He has leaky dick. Like you
I
have an
leaky
old
dick-
man
I have leaky dick for sure.
Yeah,
What
it's,
does that mean? Cum
It
comes
cries.
out.
It cries before.
It cries before.
yeah. It gets really sad in one tear, right?
What's it
Yeah.
sad about?
What? It's sad about its size. It's too wrinkly. It's getting really wrinkly.
Yeah.
And there's a very dark ring around it. You know what I mean?
What's that from?
Being
It's from being
Asian.
ethnic.
Being gay. Is that
Being
your
ethnic, you
should you
fucking
propose
racist.
with that ring?
There's a lot of issues with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why? What are you doing like this? Like it's a science fucking project.
No, I'm just because I don't have a desk. Or I'm just like I feel like I'm in an interrogation chair. I don't know where to put my hands.
Yeah.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though. Let's go back to dogs.
Why not just get pregnant right now?
I don't know. It's not, we're not going through, like, we're not, some couples 8 years in, they still fuck every day. Mm-hmm. We're not that.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that I don't. I
people
don't
do
think
that?
they're- I don't. Who are those couples?
Well, like, Christina and Tom say they do it at least a couple times a week, right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Drew's
I mean,
wife,
I don't think it's like done well.
You don't
Yeah.
think so?
From what I like, I don't. I mean, I think it's pretty. It's kind of a smash and grab. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Okay, another person. We had Oliver
Like,
Hudson
I mean, it's like
on.
what kind of what say?
Oliver Hudson was on, and he's been with his wife for 17 years. And
Yeah.
he said their sex life has never been better. I'm
Yeah.
like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
Fuck
still
with the
want to
machine,
even
so.
like?
Yeah. No, I know. Okay. Well,
We did it the other
I
night.
do think
Did we
if
not do it the other
if
night?
you're famous right now, you can't cheat anymore.
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
So I do think that it's really hot to like not get me too.
Here's the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm 49. I'm 49, and I can totally feel like it's just declining my libido.
Yeah,
right?
your testosterone goes down.
Yeah, and I'm
and
just
like
not.
your ego goes down because I mean it's like think about like all the sex you've had in your life. How much of it was it like you really wanted to do it, and how much of it was I'm trying to prove it to my guy friends or myself or my dad, or
Yeah.
how much of this is all like, do you know what I mean? It's like for me, it's like I don't like sex that much. Like so much of it, I like.
It gets to the point where you
So much of the
regret.
sex I've had, I was just doing because I was doing an impression of someone who was supposed to be having sex because we're supposed to be doing this. And
Yeah.
I just want to get this over with. And it's like, if I don't just fuck him consensually, he's going to rape me. So I guess, I'm gonna have sex with him. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it's like let me just fuck him so that he can't rape me.
I also
You know what I mean?
regret all the things that I've done. You know what I mean? All the things that I've done to get. You know what I mean? Like, why did I buy that cologne when I was 19? You know
Was
what I
it
mean?
Curve?
Or bot?
No, whatever. It's
CK1.
yeah.
CK1.
No, I think it was Cool Water.
Cool
but, like,
Water.
whatever
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
be.
yeah.
But there was so many things that like I bought this expensive jacket so I can attract women.
Yeah,
and, all
and
the
then it's like
effort.
I bought this jacket. I need to fuck this girl. Like I just spent,
Yeah.
I just spent $80 at Wet Seal. What am I gonna not fuck this girl? I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I've already invested so much in this.
Yeah.
You know, what am I, a pussy? Like, what am I gonna not? It's
And
just like,
also, all the
we do
time
it
you
'cause we
think
feel like
about
we
it.
have to. It's
Do you know that
exhausting.
Charlotte Russe is still alive and kicking? Do you know that store, Charlotte Russe?
Oh, that's
In the
such
mall?
a deep cut. Not as deep as Calypso on Sunset.
Calypso.
You don't remember Calypso on
I
Sunset?
didn't grow up on
Oh God, so
Calypso.
you were not a gold digging whore like Charlotte Russe. Wow.
Yeah, the 2 for $20 clogs.
That's intense. Yeah. I feel like I was like a R&B girl.
Is Lane Bryant still around?
Yeah. I think so.
I wonder.
Yes, not now that Adele's thin. Not even funny. I don't know what's
That's funny. That's funny.
I haven't
Not
been funny
very
in
funny.
so long.
That's so funny.
I forgot how to be funny.
Now that Adele's thin, that's a good one.
Did you hear me stutter? Did you see how long it took me to say it? I was like, I had to like gear up.
I want to ask you about dogs. Now, when you
Yeah. Let's go back to a
foster
important topic.
dogs,
Yeah.
right? How do you? Because for us, we feel like if we foster a puppy, we're gonna fall in love with the guy,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna be able to let him go.
Yeah,
How do you do that?
I'm not weak.
Really? So no matter what the puppy's like, right?
I don't do. The dogs that I foster are normally not puppies.
Yeah.
they're normally. So what I just try to go like, how am I going to be the most useful? I know a certain number of dogs are going to die. I know like puppies are easier to get adopted. I try to take the ones that are the hardest to get adopted, the ones that are just about to die. Like the one that I got today was going to be put down like within a couple hours. Like it was going to be euthanized like today, and it was going to be very hard to adopt. Black, pit bull, handicap, like it just had nothing going for it. And then the ones that are going to be like the surgeries are going to be the most expensive. I'm like, oh, no one's going to adopt that because that's going to cost too much money. And then I take dogs that are evidence in court cases that they can't put up for adoption through the shelters because it's like mafia connections and exotic animal trafficking stuff. So the last couple ones I got, the Pharaoh Hound and the 2 Shar-Peis that I got were all exotic animal
Which
trafficking.
one was the big balls one? The one that I saw at your house?
George.
George.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the Pharaoh
big
Hound.
balls.
Is he an albino Doberman?
That was that's what I think he was. They said Pharaoh Hound, albino Doberman. I don't know much about Pharaoh Hound. Like albino Dobermans are like, so what? I think that's my gut.
Yeah.
And they're like 30 grand and they breed them and they keep them in boxes and ship them to the Middle East for like princes and stuff, and they just sit there. They're like so breathtakingly beautiful. So he had never like been out of a box basically, so it was like, he was just, because they also can't be in the sun because they have no pigment in their skin. So it's like, they're just shipped over there and they just sit like in a castle. So I take really weird ones. And for me, like, I just know that if I keep it, I can't get more.
Yeah.
So I just am like, I'd rather get my heart broken, but every time I get one a home, I get to save another one.
But it seems like George, because when I was at your house, that he was really cool, good with people.
He was a weirdo. No, he was still scared. He's scared
Yeah,
of
he
men.
was kind of like
Wasn't
hiding
scared of
behind
you,
trees and
but
stuff.
yeah, he's scared of real men.
What?
He was scared of men?
Yeah, excuse me?
Yep, he was scared of men.
The estrogen testosterone
yeah,
ratio
heard
is
me. I mean,
50.
Yeah, he
headphones
wasn't
on.
afraid of me.
Would you just
I'm a
pretend-
man.
Did you just pretend you didn't hear me?
Hello?
This bit.
Hello?
Do you need a banana?
Yeah. When you look at me, you don't. Let's go back to me real quick, okay? When you look, I'd like to go back to me real quick. When you look at me, honestly,
Yeah.
do I not seem
Can
male to you?
Can you just stop and I'll answer it?
Yeah. No, can I ask the
your-
question?
I know
Let me
what
finish.
it's going to be, but I know what your question is.
What is the
It's
question?
like you're just like, well, here's the thing. I think the definition of man, quote unquote, has changed in masculine. And I actually think now the most masculine shit you can do is be vulnerable and open and honest and loyal and
Hello?
monogamous. So I actually think that you are the most masculine
Hey.
motherfucker in the game.
Yeah.
But that dog was triggered and scared of like traditionally masculine quality. Like I actually
Like Andrew Santino.
exploded.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like that brutish, like aggression is like ultimately weakness, emotional weakness, right? At some point. So it's like I think we conflate masculine with tough. I think we
Yeah.
conflate masculine. Like it's just the words don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that actually like Lex Friedman went on Joe Rogan the other day. And he's a AI like genius guy. He like does all the Teslas and stuff. And he went on Joe Rogan's show, whose audience is, you know, like tough guys, masculine guys, whatever these
Alleged alphas.
alphas, whatever these were. Alpha and alpha doesn't mean alpha because the alpha
Yeah,
sleeps
correct.
and the alpha
Yes.
powerful people don't need to show their power. So it's like, but let's just go with the traditional socially constructed definitions, which is like Lex Friedman goes on there and he reads poetry.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm reading poetry about love. And it was like the most gangster shit I've ever seen. Just wet, pussy, wet.
Wow.
And I was just like,
He's
so-
pretty hot. Yeah. I like that he's also has a very flat affect when he speaks.
Yes,
So I don't
it's-
know where he lands really.
He is a robot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
He's so, it's like this new masculinity of like, are you checking your phone?
He's gonna see who Lex Friedman.
No. I'm
Also,
I'm choking.
But I'm saying like that to
poems.
me, like that, because masculinity is about courage and bravery. And right now, in this moment in time, the most courageous, brave thing you can do is say, that hurt my feelings.
Trees
So that is
by Joseph.
Go. Do it.
Trees by Joyce Kilmer. I think I shall. Wait, let me start over.
Try a British accent.
Hello.
Yep.
Trees
There we go.
by Joyce Kilmer. I think I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree.
Wow.
A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the sweet earth's flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pry. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. Upon whose bosom snow has lain. Whose intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Wet.
Is your dick wet?
Wet.
Is your dick wet?
So wet,
Is your,
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Whitney, are you into femboys?
What?
What are you saying?
Can
No,
you
I'm
define
into
what that
femboys.
means?
BTS?
Okay, so this is gonna sound femboys, like the guys who wear pearls, the guys who kind of like really lean into their like
Interesting.
feminine gait. Yeah,
I
there's a
said
whole
like
look.
how Harry Styles now wears pearl necklaces and blouses.
more,
Yes.
even more
Freddie
than that.
Mercury.
Even more than that, where
David
they kind
Bowie.
of like the way they move, the way they touch, the way they're not leading with this like gruff kind of, you know.
I just want to be choked. So if they use that pearl necklace to choke me and make another pearl necklace, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I don't know the answer because I don't think I've been in that situation. Like I surprise myself with the times I get sexually attracted to people, and I'm like, I don't like when people are like, I have a type. No, you don't. Like,
Exactly.
not if you're an awake, evolving person. You're growing and changing every day, and you're a different person all the time, hormonally, us chemically, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there are times that like a really muscular guy with tattoos like is like not attractive to me, and there are times it's mental. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never
you
know
would
what
be difficult to date for me.
Why?
because I wouldn't date you. It would be.
In a world, that hurt, that burned.
Why do you?
And I have to admit that. You know what I mean?
Why?
That burned a bit because
Oh, by the way, what I never I've never talked about like what happened when I started the Comedy Store, like what the guys were saying.
What do you mean?
Because you were around when I started.
Listen, oh my God. Well, you want to get there? Why would this is a positive podcast.
The Comedy Store is a documentary is airing. Like I watched it. I went to the Comedy Store 2 nights ago with Andy Letterman, and we watched it. And it was just like so surreal to watch that and to think that I was once not like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the days before.
You know, here's I learned a lot from you, and I learned a lot from when in the 90s and in the 2000s when women used to come to the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to call anybody out, right? But I was always like, arguing with people like, what are you talking about? Like, for instance, when I see a comic on stage, regardless of gender, you know what I mean? I respond to the effect it has with the audience. It's just the true test, right?
But it's like I was talking to Sebastian. Sebastian was on my podcast the other day, and I was
He won't do mine. He won't
It's
do
a
mine.
sore.
It's a sore thing. He won't do mine.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, burn me more. It's fine.
It's
So who was doing your podcast the other day?
yeah. Sebastian Maniscalco
Cool.
drove to my home.
Yeah.
Kept him over time. He stayed.
Yeah.
Texted me, thank you. Like, do you want me to read?
Yeah.
We're gonna do another one. And so I said to him, I was like, because he was just like, he just, he has such blinders on when he goes in the comedy
Sure, he
store.
does, yeah.
And I was like, God, it's like, and I'm not a person that's like, it's so much harder to be a woman. Like, that's not my deal. I think it's hard for everybody. And I think in some ways it was easier for me in the beginning. I think I got opportunities I didn't deserve because I was a woman. And then it got hard in other ways, but the same ways it was hard for men. Because to me, it was like, oh, it's so much easier to write jokes that no one can steal my jokes.
Yeah.
Like that, I just remember being like, I'm a girl. Like there's less people that can steal my jokes. Like there were some benefits for me at the time. And, but the way I was introduced to the Comedy Store used to be like, are you guys ready for a lady?
Yeah.
It was like, which is, I'm not like, I think the person introducing me truly thought they were doing the right thing. Like, I don't think they were trying to be sexist, but it was like, anyone need to go to the bathroom? Feed your meter? Now's the time.
Do you remember the writing packet situation at Chelsea? I'll remind you.
Submitting a writing packet to be a writer?
So a guy came up to me, right? And he said, hey, I need work. And I need, right? And he goes, here's my writing packet. I know they're looking for writers at Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
Chelsea Lately. And I said, and for some reason, I had completely forgotten about how he treated women, you know what I mean? And he looked like a guy who was like really needing help.
So I allowed to say, I think I know who it is.
So he gives me the packet. And I remember I was with Brad and a bunch of writers and producers, and I gave them the packet, right? I go, this is from said that loudly, right? And you barged barged into the room. I heard you scream, what the fuck? Right? You barged in the room and you yelled at me. You go, you're bringing that piece of shit into our family? Right? And then it kind of was like I woke up. I went, oh fuck.
It was such a codependent move on your part.
It was. It really was.
It was like I knew what you're doing because I've done it.
Yeah. And I was just like, it just was a slap in the face to me. Like I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I think I really fucked up here.
But what's so ironic about that, and I'm sorry, I think I did the right thing, and I'm
100%
sorry.
did. You 100% did.
But it was already such a
apologize.
toxic environment that I was also run by fear at the time.
Yeah.
So I think I was coming in going, well, I can't take any more.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. But it was also, though, it brought
and
me
I was
back.
very traumatized by him. So I think obviously
A
my inner child was like, no.
A lot of women were. In fact, I remember having discussions with him when he was very young, going, why don't you treat people nice?
Wow.
You know?
But we forgive not because others deserve forgiveness, but because we deserve peace. I mean, it's a sick person.
Yeah.
So hurt people. So it's like he's broken.
But it brings me back to the culture of what it was like back then.
Wild.
Right? Wild.
Wild.
And it's so funny to me that, this group of guys, who berated not just, female comics, but gay comics or other
But here's what,
types of
can I say
comics.
something
Yeah.
crazy that's gonna get me canceled?
What?
I guess for me, like I'm now just in this after my dad died, I think it's kind of what broke me open. It's like I have this like radical forgiveness shit. I'm on some radical forgiveness shit right now, which is like everyone that hurt me, like I'm so like you made me stronger. Like that's such a fortune cookie, bad, like shitty Instagram, like pop thing, but it's like it really did. Like I look back at those days in the Comedy Store in the hallway. I was like being degraded and insulted and flirted with and like all the emotionally dangerous shit. I also come from a really emotionally dangerous environment, so it was like wasn't like, you know, when people are like, isn't the Comedy Store toxic? I'm like, if you had a good childhood, maybe.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like a warm hug. It was like, I know what to do with this. And
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
like go to like a party for the office writers and I'd be like, this is weird and great. Like that's what scared me. Like eye contact with guys from Harvard. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so.
I thought you're so much like me.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
know how to be around
know.
unbroken people.
I know, but broken people, we just vibrate on a different
Yeah.
frequency. And it's also like the shoe is dropped, so I don't have to wait for the shoe to drop. And like when people are openly broken, I feel very safe because I know they're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
I know there's no secrets. Whereas when people are really nice and like, I'm like, you fucking have, you have like a woman in your basement. Like, so when someone's like openly, seemingly like well-adjusted and quote unquote
Yeah.
nice and like, well-adjusted or
Yeah.
something and normal, that really creeps me out because I know you have a secret.
Yeah.
Whereas comics, we just go, like I just cheated on my girlfriend, and we're like, whoo, okay, like
Yeah.
we're just so like, we advertise our darkness. We're a shadow. We show our shadow right away.
Yeah.
and that makes me feel so safe.
yeah.
I have the opposite feeling sometimes. I
Mm-hmm.
feel guilt because I went against my moral and my ethics, right? Just because I wanted to make it, you know, in the business,
Yeah.
right? So there are incidences
We've all done that.
where I've passed, you know what I mean? Someone would behave in a way where I would just kind of go, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm not seeing it. I'm not going to look at it. You know what I mean? I know that's fucking awful, right?
Yeah, but that was your self-preservation, and it would not have been a positive like contribution to your future. To like that's like the stuff with like any of the stuff that comes up with comedians that have done things that are untoward and like, well, what did you do about it? It's not my job to do that. I'm not their mom.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not I'm not enabling them by existing. I'm not enabling them by doing my job over here.
Yeah.
Like there is a little bit of this like blame game with like that person misbehaved. Why didn't you feel like I was going to go over and get a time machine and change their childhood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By going over, like that's playing God.
Yeah.
And that's delusional thinking to think that you would have had any power over that. That would have been sick of to get involved.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary yet. Is it good?
So good.
The Comedy Store documentary?
Swear, I thought like when you said the documentary, I was like, brrr.
All right.
I was
right.
like Epstein Island, but I forgot. Like I was
yeah.
like, I mean, it's like beautiful. I cried. I went and saw. I've only seen. I'm sort of careful with watching it, you know. But I saw the third episode. I went with Annie, and it was like. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so artfully done. The Troy Conrad's photos are like made 3D and dimensional. Like pull up The Open. Like just show Bobby. The Open will make you cry. I mean, I cried. Rogan
Wow.
cried in the last episode. He like got choked up talking about Mitzi. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really intense.
Yeah.
And the last episode was like an homage to Brian Holtzman.
Oh, wow.
I know. Like
Wow.
it's for real. It's not like
Wow.
here are all the famous people that worked at the Comedy Store. It's like this is the real Comedy Store.
Yeah, yeah.
It like shows Brian Holtzman, like he does like 7 or 8 minutes of his material. And it's like, we're talking about like, like comics run in and watch Brian Holtzman at the end of the night. Like it's like an homage. It's like Don Barris isn't like, it's like the real deal.
Yeah. Oh, so now, you know, you just give me tingles on my body.
You should.
Because I have to say about Brian Holtzman, you know, I've watched Brian Holtzman for over 20 years, right? And there are times where I watch him and I go, wow, that's freedom, right? Because everything that I say and do, right, I worry about the consequences.
Always.
And I want to be able to work.
Yep.
And all that stuff is tied into something, you know,
Yep.
about my own self-preservation,
Yep.
you know, and
Fear, just
fear. Yeah. And he's the type of guy that that's why we watch him, is because do I agree with 95% of the things that he talks about,
cares?
some of
He
it
might
is
not even
awful.
agree with them.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
might not even
are
agree with them.
awful, right? But it's in the freedom of it and watching audiences walk out on him, right?
And then he goes, "Thank you for staying as long as you did."
I know. There is something magical about
Magical.
that. And I'm so glad that that's in it. I've never seen it because
It made my nipples hard. I mean, it was so
Yeah.
watching it was so like we were in the Comedy Store parking lot watching it. Comedy Store dirt people were watching it speechless. Like
Yeah.
we were so just touched and moved that he was being celebrated finally. And then there's that whole episode is also about how no one in Hollywood was embracing these talents at the Comedy Store and how we were just waiting around for permission from a bunch of guys that went to school for advertising to let us be in their bad TV shows. So that we could be comics.
Yeah.
And then what podcasting did to all of a sudden give power to people that were the actual talents.
Right.
And it has Tom and Christina and Joe, and it's like and Joey Diaz. I mean, it's like Joey Diaz does a joke in it where he says, like, someone called me a spick the other day, and I was like, yeah, there's still real Americans left. It's so triumphant. It's so well made. It's so, and it's funny because I like find myself not wanting to compliment it so much because I'm in it, and I just had shame come up that I'm complimenting myself, but I'm like we shot a bunch of stuff in my podcast about it, and I was so resistant to doing it because we get asked to do stuff so much. How many times has someone been like, I want to come it's like Mike Binder was like, and he directed Burr specials, and I know Mike Binder, but it was just sort of like, we're all so busy when someone's like, do you want to be in this documentary? There's a little bit of a like, oh God, it feels like an obligation, and like I was talking to Sebastian about it we're also both weirdos. We come in and we leave. We don't really hang out. And a lot of it was shot like, they were like, can we come watch you do the hat trick, which is doing all 3 rooms in the Comedy Store.
Right.
And I kept being like, I just didn't make it a priority because I'm a weirdo. And watching it, I regretted that I didn't make more time for it.
Oh wow.
To be in it, But I think I'm in at the perfect amount. Like everyone's
Yeah.
probably at capacity and sick of me, but it made me cry. That's all I noticed.
Can I tell you a sick reason why I haven't seen it?
You're in it for sure.
I know, but no one's tweeted about me. Right?
Are you
at all?
like, what's so?
There's nothing positive about like.
I love that you said tweet. Like,
Yeah, or any comment, or I've been reading things
do
and
you
there's
look
no
at your
mention of
Insta-
me.
do you
So
look at-
in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm terrible in it, or you know what I mean, or I'm not in it at all, which would
I
be
think that
embarrassing.
right now, like the
Yeah.
way things come out, they come out forever. It's always going to be coming out. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
there's going to be a big surge in people watching it after this airs. There's going to be a big, and then Sebastian and I are going to talk about it on my, it's going to keep coming out like in heats. It used to be like the ratings were like something aired. It was like overnight how many people watched it.
Right.
Now it's like broken up into heats or
Yeah.
something. It's like doled out. Like so people are going to watch it now because you're talking about it. You're fans.
I can tell.
Do you look at your tags, your story tags?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I can tell, right, that something is, and this is, I hate talking about myself, but
Clearly.
I can tell though that something is changing.
Yeah.
About my life. You know what I mean? Whereas so many years I struggled, and to find my way, to get some sort of like respect or whatnot. I just never quit. I just hung in there. I stuck to what I knew, which was the Comedy Store and the people there, because I was literally the only place that would have me almost, right? And so I never I know, and I never thought that anything would really substantial would come of it, because I would watch people step ahead of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would watch people that generally, had an easier route, because the Comedy Store was a difficult route, especially when you're talking about the slim years. You know what I mean?
But and I think it's like, and when you came on my podcast, I have a podcast, you guys. When you came on my podcast and you like, you kept, because you're a histrionic person by nature.
Histrionic completely.
What's
and-
histrionic? No, tell me what it means. Tell me what it means.
You're dramatic.
Very
I'm not dramatic.
Okay.
How am I dramatic?
All right.
No. When people say that, No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. When people say that I'm fucking dramatic, it drives me fucking crazy because I don't even know what the fuck they mean, right? I'm fucking cool. I'm fucking chill. I'm relaxed. What is it? What does it mean?
Don't
Historian?
forget-
Histrionics is exactly what you
This
just.
is
yeah.
you're intense and you're
Yeah.
very emotional.
Oh shit, my bad.
You're very
I mean,
emotional.
I'm not a historian, Marcus.
You're very emotional. You
What's the word?
exaggerate. You
What's the word?
exaggerate.
Histrionic.
Histrionic.
Histrionic. If it's hysterical, it's historical. You're
Right.
hysterical, but it's old.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
all know that it's old, so we put up with it.
What's old?
My face? Don't laugh at that.
Yeah. What is old?
So it's obviously it's part of your
It's
process.
an act.
I know.
It's
but it's an act.
It's
I
not
know.
really who I am.
I know, but the blinds
Relax.
are blurring a little bit.
I understand.
know,
Tell me to
it-
relax again, Bobby.
I know, but doesn't
I'm
go.
gonna
What are you getting
interject.
so angry about?
She's gonna chop
What are you
you.
getting so
But
angry
will
about?
you let me finish.
Let me finish it.
Don't finish inside me or near me. Don't finish in anyone. But I'm just saying, you exaggerate. I'm giving it just. This is all getting to a compliment. It's gonna. This is all about you. Don't panic. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
Fine.
So, like before you go on stage, you go, "This is gonna be the worst set ever. I'm gonna have the
I
worst."
changed that about
I
myself.
know. I changed that about yourself.
I know you did. I know you did.
But I'm just saying, but you remember, like, that's how you talk in extremes. I'm the same. We're black and white thinkers. Everything's horrible or great. It's amazing or it's awful. Like, I'm the worst person or I'm the best. Like, and it vacillates and we're black and white. There's no gray with us. Like, that's how our brains sort of, like, see the world, right? We've gotten better. So when you kept saying, like, this podcast changed my life, this podcast changed, you would say that, which is like, it's an extreme thing to say, and you've said a lot of extreme things, like, this is gonna be the worst set ever, I'm gonna bomb tonight. So it's like, I'm so used to you exaggerating that, like, I kind of took it with a grain of salt. I'm like, yeah, I know his podcast is big. Like, I would go on stage at the Comedy Store and people would be in TigerBelly shirts in the front row. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like, it's doing well. Like, I didn't really understand that it was truly changing your life in a way that was like, everything you had worked so hard for, all of a sudden became worth it, and no time was ever wasted, and nothing was ever a mistake. Like, the journey made sense. There were no tangents. All of a sudden, everything you've ever done, every horrible thing that's ever happened to you, is now being alchemized. You get to talk about it and make money off of it.
Yeah.
So it's like all the abuse you went through, all the shit you went through, all the madness you went through, all the shitty shows you did, all the fucking fucked up sex you had. Like, now it's paying your bills. It wasn't for nothing. It wasn't
I
waste.
have a question about that.
And then you cried really quick. You came on my podcast and you cried. And you were like, I can't believe I get to do this. Like, this has changed my life. Like, I get to go do a podcast with my girlfriend, and you didn't listen to the episode. It was very good. And I get to go do it with Santino. And you were like, got choked up. You were like, this has like changed my life so much. And then I was like, God, fucking Bobby, why is he crying on my podcast? I was like, Jesus, like, let's be funny. Like, I remember just going, because it was the embryonic stages of my podcast, and it was back when I thought I had to be funny, and I was like manic on my podcast. And I get it now, and I only got it a couple weeks ago. It like clicked for me, where I was like, oh my God, like, all we want is to be seen and heard and understood and loved. And we couldn't do it because there were so many gatekeepers before, and we were banging our heads against the wall, and it was making us hate ourselves, and it was deteriorating our self-worth and self-esteem. And then podcasts, all of a sudden, we got to be unbound and like be seen for who we are and be authentic for once.
But it's not going to last forever.
Yours isn't.
I know. But for me, it's like, I also have to understand that nothing lasts forever, right? And this is a wave that we're riding, right? In this last year, there have been some turbulent weather, right? Amongst our people that we know and friends, right?
Yeah.
And things shift, and I get all that, right?
Yeah.
And so, I appreciate it for the moment.
But here's what I'll say. I do think
yeah.
that what just happened in the pandemic, like, I think that I'm calling it the great reorganization. because it's like everything, no one's getting away with anything. Like everything will be revealed. And that's what podcasts are. We're going like, this is who I am. These are my flaws. These are my imperfections. I'm a piece of shit. I've done this. I've had abortions. Like we're all just, and I think that it's like nice guys finish first all of a sudden. It used to be nice guys finish last. And it feels like it just flipped.
That was my next question to you. Like, because we've been doing this for 5 years now.
Wow.
And some people have been doing it longer. Is there a point where you fear looking back maybe 5 years in the future and say, why did I say that? Is that, and people like digging into things that you've said in the past and like possibly like canceling you for it? And because, the pendulum swings and the times change, and what's true to us today might sound completely antiquated, 5 years from now. And like, that's always what I fear, even doing this, like moving forward. We've done, ever since we've done this, I'm like, 5 years ago, I openly talked about wanting to beat kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not who I am now. I don't believe that. It was said in jest. But that's
My mom slapped me in the face when I was 11. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
but
I called her a hooker to her face, and she hit me in the face, and I hit the ground.
Wow.
And I think every time I see her, I say, thank you for doing that. So I'm just saying, don't beat your kids. But if your 11-year-old calls you a hooker, hit her in the face.
Yeah.
I am proof that was a good idea.
Yeah.
My mom's torture tactics were a little different and unwarranted.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, sometimes I have this like fear of doing this and thinking that I'll be held.
I don't think anyone can come for you if you're the same person on camera and off camera. And if you don't have a boss, who's going to cancel? If you don't have a boss, no one can. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
I always think I can never go back to nursing. Like, I can never go back to taking care of people bedside or doing this and doing that.
Do you want to go back to that?
It's always there if shit should ever go away for me. Like if him and I.
Why are you thinking about things going away?
Well, I'm just saying, if Bobby has one very large histrionic day and says, I'm leaving you, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
That's something that I know that I'm good at, that I know that will give me a good livelihood.
Yeah.
And I can go back to that.
Yeah. No,
So-
you'll marry a billionaire. Trust.
Well, not a
You'll
billionaire.
get on Raya. No.
Yeah.
Fully,
She'll get somebody, you know what I mean, maybe as good as me.
When Bobby
Maybe
leaves,
it's-
you mean the best day of your life?
I mean, I'm pretty good.
When I hand
You
back
know what I
a
mean?
jade ring.
No.
So you can go date a rich guy?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Okay, friend? But what you said to me 3 weeks ago was that this what we're doing, though, is our art, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that,
Art, let's not call it art, but okay. Like, let's slow down.
that's
our
a little-
expression.
Yeah.
It's our expression, right?
It's we're putting on plays that are true.
Yeah. But I also said that I exaggerate, like we know this about me.
But that's
that
comedy
I
also.
heighten things, right? I exaggerate things. Some things I make up, right?
That's why that makes it funny. Me saying I'm a pedophile isn't funny if I'm actually a pedophile.
Right.
But I'll go, he's young, I'm a pedophile. You're laughing because it's not true.
Yeah. So I just think that
That's just what a joke is. And people know, like, I've had a podcast transcribed and put in a newspaper where I was making jokes about something, and it transcribed looks really bad.
Yeah.
But I think that it's like, I think it's our job, like as comics, it's our job, like if someone's not laughing, that's all we can think about. If we're making 1,000 people in a theater laugh and one person's not laughing, that's all we can think about. That's why we're funny. That brain wiring is why we're good. Like, don't lose that. You should be like that.
Yeah.
But we are, and there's a biological basis for it, but we are amplifying how much the canceling is. It's just like 22% of people are on Twitter. Of that, 2% generate 80% of the comments.
Wow.
We're making it bigger. That it's not that big, and like we're wired to amplify the negative, which is why we're funny. Because we go, that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough, right? And we get funnier and funnier. And make the joke better and better. We only focus on negative feedback, not positive feedback. It's like you get an applause break and you're like, okay, now let me try this next joke. Like we just like, for us I go through my like comments and love you, live for you. You got me through my cancer, spirit animal, slay. And I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for the best. I look for it.
Yeah.
And then I find it, you're an ugly cunt. And I'm like, if you don't agree with it, it can't hurt you. Is what I'm learning.
Yeah.
The only ones that hurt me are the ones that I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or she's right or whatever it is, you know? But it's like now I feel like I've done so much work to try to figure out like why I judge people and why I criticize people. And it's just like people that are in pain that are just using self-righteous indignation as their anesthesia, and you just let them do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy, just speaking of trolls, right? Just
He has
speaking-
fixation.
I have fixations of trolls. There's a guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like cutting.
They try to alter.
Yes, that's exactly it.
But they,
Feels good
they
for,
try to
like,
I was
alter
a-
your
I
reality.
was a cutter. I know that feeling.
what
That's
it is.
exactly
You know-
what you're doing.
What?
You're cutting.
You cut it
I
yourself.
still cut too.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
negative comments, you go and you're
Well, I
like,
was cutting the
but
other
what's
day.
so funny about it is like you're cutting yourself with people that are hurt. They're hurting. They're broken people.
Yeah.
That are like they don't even mean what they're saying. Like have you ever? My favorite thing is to respond to a troll that says something horrible. When you're like they'll be like, you're an ugly busted cunt, whatever, and I'll be like, but you follow me, or like, hey, sorry you feel that way, and they'll go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never thought you were going to see this. And they just like are in this shame spiral. It's like, it's also, you follow me.
But let's go back to that.
You
right?
love me. You love me.
There was a guy, you know, Corey Haim.
Yeah.
You remember Corey Haim?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I wasn't a big fan of his,
Okay.
right? But, you know, if Corey Haim was alive, right? There is nothing in my mind or in my heart
Yeah.
would make me want to go onto his Instagram and go, yo, dude, I think you're not talented. I don't like you. Right? I would just not do that because I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
If other people have different perspectives. What would make somebody want to do that to a stranger?
Hey guys, we're gonna take a really quick break to share this amazing sponsor.
For Hims, a wellness brand for men. You guys, I wish I had Hims for Hims when I was growing up because I would have used it. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Any bald spots yet? The best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some. Why do guys turn to weird solutions, Gilbert?
Forhims.com is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men.
Yes.
It's time to write a new chapter, guys. One in which you have hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with my penis dysfunctionality.
This isn't snake oil pills, gas station counter
they give you
supplements.
real solutions for your
Backed by science.
yeah.
Real
Physician.
prescriptions.
physicians.
Prescription solutions backed by science. No more awkward in-person doctor visits or long pharmacy lines. 4Hims connects you to licensed medical professionals online, which could save you hours. Completely confidential and discreet. Tell us more about it, Gil.
Today, Hims is giving you their best offer yet. If you're not happy with the results after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, TigerBelly listeners can get their first visit absolutely free. Go to forhims.com/belly. That's forhims.com/belly. Disclaimer, full refund of price paid available for first 90 days supply. Refund requests must be made between 90 and 180 days after product shipment delivered. Prescription products require an online consultation with a medical professional who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Remember, that's forhims.com/belly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
So what I'm saying is that what gives somebody the incentive?
In my opinion,
She said it's anesthesia. It's for
well,
them.
yeah. I mean, if it's like to me, that's you're being the bully because
Yeah.
they're going after people with a lot of stuff and a
Yeah.
big, amazing life.
Yeah.
And going, fuck you. Like they're just nipping at your heels and then you're just like, boom. It's like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, okay.
they egged your house. They egged your mansion.
Yeah.
Right.
She actually interviewed one of her trolls.
I did.
Love it.
I did.
What was
and
your conclusion?
Oh my God, Whitney, like he had gone down. Like this is somebody who had always, like every week, just made it his mission to always call me Golding and Horicon, whatever. You know the mix. You know the
Imagine
cocktail.
how much pain you have to be in to do that.
But so I tried to get into how much pain. I asked him questions about his life, and it turned out he couldn't put a finger on what about me bugged him the most.
Yeah.
Besides that, his girlfriend loved me a lot.
That was it.
And it was so strange. And at the end of it all,
He's
he
also
was like,
mentally ill.
he said
Anyone commenting like it's like this person's not well.
Yeah. I thought it was really cathartic for me, at least, for someone.
You also, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
You also kind of got famous without much of a ramp up.
Correct.
We had like ramp ups where
Yeah.
it was like a couple people liked us and then a couple hated us. It
Yeah.
grew gradually. I feel like you kind of were like, it was probably kind of jarring.
Yeah.
We had like a slow burn into it.
Also, in the beginning, when I first started dating him, I didn't, the way Bobby posted about me on his Instagram, like looking back is really cringeworthy and gross. It was always like tits and this and then me
You're
and
triggering.
this.
You're very triggering.
Yeah. And
but when we trigger people, like that's theirs.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm very triggering to people. That's why I've had to, like, learn this. I'm like, so many people don't like me. Like, but I'm dope. So what's up?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it took me so long to know, like, to like myself.
Yeah.
And to be, because I wasn't doing anything out of guilt, shame, or whatever, that I'm like, okay, I get why I'm triggering. Like, I remember, like, when I had a TV show come out and there were like posters everywhere that said like Whitney, and I was like, meh. Like I remember thinking, like, if there was a show called like Tiffany with some girl being like me, I would have been like, I would have made so much fun. I would have hated that person, you know?
Yeah.
I did ayahuasca like 3 years ago when my dad died, and I had that, and I didn't have like revelation. Like I didn't really have a profound experience. Like I was like clowning on it and roasting it the whole time because you're sitting there for like 6 hours and like, you're gonna have these revelations. I'm like, anyone sitting anywhere without ayahuasca and their phone is gonna think of some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so rare that we're alone with our own thoughts. So I was sitting there, I didn't feel high. I puked the first night. The second night, I didn't feel anything, and I was so annoyed because it was so expensive that I then went into my room and sneaked a joint, which I don't know if you can mix ayahuasca and marijuana, but I did, and I recommend it to everyone. It was amazing. And then so I kind of got high on weed, and maybe the ayahuasca kicked in or whatever, but I had this revelation where I was like, there's a couple family members that I had all this resentment towards, like crystallized, I hated them. And I didn't understand. Like I paid for this, and I gave you money for this, and I was so nice to you, and I flew in for Thanksgiving then. It was like, I didn't know yet that like codependence breeds resentment. The nicer you are to people sometimes, you're just setting yourself up to be victimized. Is that a gunshot?
The Dodgers won.
Stop! I missed it.
That was the fireworks.
Really?
She still thinks we're in a bad neighborhood. She thinks it's Why is that your defensive position?
Yeah.
Is that a gun?
No, she was in this beautiful rant. She was in this beautiful. I've been there, Whitney, where you're serious and you're doing a
gunshot.
beautiful, like, you know what I mean, an Oscar-winning performance, and then the Dodgers win. You know what I mean? It fucks you up, and it feels bad. But we got to go to an unhelpful.
Wait,
fight.
no!
All right, so
her finish.
unhelpful.
Let her finish. We're talking about
Go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
No.
So you were saying about ayahuasca, and you had a revelation about your family men and resentments.
The Dodgers really
Deep-seated
fucked this up.
resentments. Go ahead.
Dude, fuck podcasting. I'm gonna go back to making shitty signals. People don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Dude,
Yeah.
so fucking jumpy when it comes to that
Yeah.
shit.
Anyway, congratulations to the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear the end of this.
Yeah,
story,
end of the
please.
story, please. End it.
Baseball. Like, who cares?
Love her at baseball right here. Love her.
Most bitch sport.
Oh my god.
Like the oldest guys.
Yeah.
The old.
Not a gunshot.
was
Everyone.
great.
We're good.
Thank you, fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the momentum.
I did date a baseball player.
You did?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Hang on. MLB? Like major leagues?
Or like
No, I think he was like the league right below that. He
Minor.
was in the major leagues, but then like
Minor.
hurt himself or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated by like athlete psychology because they just have gotten everything so easily and girls so easily that it's always just like so funny.
It's true. They're a little stunted.
Yeah, tiny dick. He had no idea.
The last baseball player. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Whitney, the last baseball player I dated, the tiniest dick.
No, but like threw it around. Like he had no idea because he had just had women be like, it was just like, I literally remember.
Wait, you didn't do this.
When you
It was-
try to, this is my approach. It's worked pretty well. But I think from what I understand, what you're supposed to do with a dick is like, you know what I mean? When you're blowing it, and I couldn't get to it. I remember being like, I remembered not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I only know, I don't know if I saw it in porn or where I learned it, but you're supposed to do this with the dick, twist up and down, like butter
Yeah.
churn it.
She has to use 2 fingers and do that. She does it with just 2 fingers. With one.
I kind of just did that
hands.
joke.
I mean,
Did I fuck up the joke?
He goes, I mean.
Listen,
oh, yes, no, wait, we're editing this out. We're editing. Yes, and. Do another one. Do yes.
I fucked it
Hey,
up.
maybe
I fucked up the joke. I trampled on her bit. And you don't have to go, hey, man.
no, I'm helping you out with the knife
I
one.
know.
Say something about watering or something.
Look at all the cat hair you have on your
Yeah,
shirt.
let's do an unhelpful advice.
Wait, do we want to finish? Is
My food's
I know,
served.
but
is that why we're stopping the podcast? You have a Postmate?
we haven't let her finish one single thought.
She drove so
Bobby's
far away.
so over me. He's
This
been
is
so,
a fucking hit already.
he's
We
been
we have so many good things. This is a great podcast.
But we were
And
talking
we're gonna
about
have her back.
By the way, here's the other thing I do. I'm gonna voice some I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like you guys should invite me on here more.
I think so too.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like you don't invite me. I feel like I'm not cool enough to do this podcast.
Are you fucking out of your mind? First of all, let me say something, okay?
and him have been
How many repeats? How many times have you done this podcast?
This is only her.
3rd time.
This is my 3rd time.
Third.
But I feel like I bombed
Twice,
the
twice.
first time.
No.
You didn't bomb at all.
I feel like the
This is your
second
3rd
time I
time.
was kind of okay.
All right, and you're the only one who's done it 3 times.
Maybe it's just because I follow you guys and I see our friends on and I get jealous. I do. I really get FOMO.
Holly's done it twice.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric Griffin's done it 3 times.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
but it was a fill-in for you as
it
well.
was a fill-in. Who else?
Say the most was
But
probably.
Natasha's done it 1 time.
I will say the next time, because you got to choose the fill-in for the last time when you were out of town.
Santino.
I would love it if I got a woman to fill in like
yeah,
Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I just after having done a podcast
Yeah.
for way less long, like 8 Jesus fucking hell.
Yeah.
I've only been doing it 8 months, and I'm finding that the episodes that work for me are when I'm like I've had Taylor Thomas on back a couple times. I'm like I'd rather have her back than like a super famous person that I don't really have
Yeah.
chemistry with.
Yeah.
Like I sort of am like I'm trying to put my philosophy on you guys. But yeah, I feel like repeats are okay.
Does every guest that you ask say yes? Have you ever asked somebody like
John
for-
Mayer said I don't do well on podcasts. He was very honest with me about it. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, come on. He was like, I always feel bad after I go on podcasts. And I was like, dude, that's so fucking smart of you. Like because he's like, he will overshare and then feel bad afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. Because I used to be like that. I'd go on a podcast and leave and be like, why the fuck did I say all that?
Yeah. That's always how I feel.
Yeah, but I've asked famous people that I know that are friends of mine, and they've said stuff like, "Well, you're gonna have to talk to my publicist to see my fucking
That's
questions."
one
And then the
person.
next,
But they
you
don't
know,
understand
But the
how
next
big
thing you
it
know,
is.
they do other podcasts, and you're like,
They do
"What
Whitney."
the fuck?"
Yeah, but it's like,
They do Whitney's.
they're just finding
Whitney's.
out. I feel like people are just fine. I just have to say now, like the numbers are bigger than this talk show. Like here are the
Yeah.
once you show them the numbers, once they start to understand, and then you go, hey, I'm gonna give you a big part of I think why I'm able to get big guests is I also give them clips that are subtitled for their channels. So I go, I'm gonna give you like 5 clips for your channel, so like they get a week of just
See,
content.
why don't we do the clips for the guest?
Don't steal my business model.
But let's not do that either.
Do you know what I mean? So you say to the guests, I say, and I also do car and hair and makeup if they want it. They normally say no because it's a
Wow.
pandemic. Just offer it. They don't say yes because it's a pandemic and you get the
Yeah.
credit.
Why not?
All we do is
That's
coffee
so
cans.
nice.
Unhelpful advice. Boom.
You wanted to-
Unhelpful advice with Bobby, Khalyla, and Whitney.
This might be a little heavy for you guys, but here it goes anyway. I have a girlfriend that I've been with for 4 years now. 3 out of the 4 years we've been on and off the street.
The street?
Yes,
Homeless?
I believe homeless.
Okay.
Oh shit.
The main reason is because my partner suffers from depression, anxiety, and OCD. It's put quite a strain on our relationship to the point where we don't love each other the same. She refuses to get therapy because she believes it won't help. At this point, I feel guilty to leave her. On top of that, her adoptive family can care less about what happens to her. At this point, I have no idea what to do. I would appreciate your feedback.
That's all, Whitney. I'm out. That's very high level. I'm too unqualified to.
This is just
talk
someone
about
that doesn't want to leave someone.
Yeah.
It's about someone who's
You're
been
never
living
being
on
nice if you don't leave. You're never being nice.
They're homeless.
Yeah.
Okay, they're homeless, right? She has mental issues.
Yeah.
Right. and her family. She has no more family that kind of abandoned
And
her.
she refuses to go to therapy.
She refuses to go to therapy.
But she's homeless. How would she go to therapy? What are you talking about?
No, they go
that's
in
like-
and out of therapy. So they
they're
go in and out of
homeless.
homelessness. I mean,
And they go in
Stop
and out.
spending your money on therapy if you're homeless.
all right.
Let's get our.
That's. I mean, it's very. Yeah.
Get our price. Stop going to therapy.
Yeah. For me, let me give my 2 cents, if I may. You know, it's like you can't change her. You can't. It's like.
Oh my God, leave.
Yeah.
What
if
are we
you're
doing?
not
What
happy,
are you
I know.
doing?
If you're not happy,
You're never pity and love. Do never confuse love and
yes,
pity.
That's basically what I want to say.
And
but I
this
wanna say it in
person's
a
never
nice
going to hit
way.
rock bottom, and you're not going to give them the dignity of their own experience. How are they ever going to grow if you're going to keep helping them because you want to?
And if
play
you leave
God
and they
you have
die, then,
you have a
you know-
God complex. Like you're martyring yourself on this person. What an
Yeah.
unattractive email. Oh my God.
Sorry about
there
your life.
another one?
Sorry about your life, though.
Leave this person alone so that they can hit rock bottom and grow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone being with you because they pitied you? How awful that feels. You're like wasting. I used to do that. I used to stay in relationships, be like, I can't leave. They're gonna fall apart. They're gonna kill themselves without me. It's like, but I'm also gonna take a year of their life and lie to them and pretend that I like them.
Yeah.
That's because that's kind.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
They need me. No, they don't.
Yeah.
She'll be fine or she won't. Whatever you do, it's like.
Yeah.
You can't control what's going to happen. It's just you can only control how much guilt you have afterwards.
Man, I like you.
You love me.
I do love you.
Okay, what's next? That was a stupid question.
Yeah. Get another one, Gil.
Hey guys, my name is Jake. I'm 26 and I live in St. Louis. Right now I work in construction. I was a cook for 9 years before this. Almost everyone I work with, including the owner, is pretty much openly racist. I can't stand it at all. They know I come from a family with a mixed background, but they still will say the N-word around me as well as other
Jesus.
racial slurs. It makes working very difficult. My issue is that I can't afford to quit my job. I get decent pay and insurance, which is hard to come by. I also won't be able to afford rent and all my bills if I do quit. Should I leave and get another job in the restaurant industry, which might be shit, or should I stick with my current job until spring or summer? Thank you guys. Love you.
I would stay with the job and then report the racism.
If
Like
the owner,
anonymously.
Yeah, anonymously. Yeah.
but he's the
I mean,
owner
but who
first.
do you report it to? This isn't. Like, they don't have HR
Yeah, they
in
don't
a
have
restaurant.
HR.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, this isn't Disney.
Well, then okay. Well, then I would
Report it to
I
the
would go-
police. Call the police.
or you could go to, you know what I mean, the owners or whoever's saying these words and go, listen, thank you for the job. I love working here, but the N-word and all the things that you're saying is so offensive, right? And can you just cut it out? Say it at
Please film this and send it to us so I can see how this goes.
No. Just this is what. Let me just because I haven't thought it through.
Play it out.
I haven't thought it. Let me play it out.
No,
for a
I can
second.
tell you haven't thought it.
Right.
Or wait,
That's
wait,
evidence.
I would knock on the knock.
wait, you be the guy. She's the owner, the racist owner.
Okay,
Whitney
knock,
Cummings,
knock,
the racist owner.
Hey, Chink.
Come on, Bobby, stay in it, Bobby.
up?
Stay in it, Bobby.
I know, and then I would close the door and walk away. Right, and I'd still be at the fucking business at work.
But then you muster up
Yeah,
more.
in my head, I'd just be like, "Oh, she's not gonna change.
Wait,
Probably say sorry. Thank
She's
you.
not gonna change."
She's not going to.
Yeah. But I love this job. Yeah, I'll have to absorb it. I'll just absorb it. It'll turn into cancer 10 years from now. Yeah, you're right. All right, so I would go. I would
again.
quit and get a new job.
Or try it again, one more time.
All right, so knock.
What's up, Gook?
All right, power through.
All right, so that's why I came here, actually, boss.
Funny you say that.
Funny why you say that because
But can you see me? I just.
Power through, Bobby. Power through. Power through.
yeah, because I know my eyes are slantier than most, but I have perfect vision.
What's wrong? Do you need me to drive you home?
Power through, Bobby. Go.
That's just a stereotype. Anyway, can you stop saying stuff like that?
Why? What's the problem?
Because it hurts my feelings.
Oh,
Yeah,
why
and-
don't you just commit suicide? Like your brother.
And then I would close the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I would just stay there. I think, yeah.
Very quietly.
Quietly.
Close it
just
very
stay there,
quietly.
and stay there because this is a boss.
You would bow on your way out.
Yeah, I would bow. I would, you know what I mean? I would bind my feet and I walk out like that. Yeah. Oh my God.
Chris DiStefano.
I love her. Love him. He's done my podcast.
No, I know. I saw him. You know how he got fired from doing that show?
Wow.
Oh, dude, this is wild. Like, I mean, I'm gonna get canceled from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on a show called not American Gladiator. Can you look at Beastmaster? It's called
On Netflix.
Dude, this show's amazing. It's called Beastmaster, and it's like a bunch of like people just like
It's like Ninja Warrior, but more
Ninja
intense.
Warrior, like
yeah.
jumping over on rings in the sky. Like it's wild, like an obstacle course, and
Yeah.
it's all different countries against different countries, France and England and China. And then they have people from each country like cheering on each country. And there's a like a puddle, like it's over water, like a giant pool of red, like goo.
Yeah.
So if you fall in it, you're like covered in red goo. Like it's just an amazing show
Yeah.
to watch. You can watch it with the sound off. And Ninja Warrior, see that? They're like balancing on shit and whatever. And then people are commenting, and Chris DiStefano was one of the commenters. And someone fell in the red goo, one of the Chinese competitors.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, he fell in the duck sauce."
That's it?
Got fired that day.
Duck sauce?
Duck
Why
sauce.
you're hired to do that?
Got fired that day.
That's so
Like
innocent.
mid production. Like he was fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. and it was so weird because it was like they could have just cut it out. Like they
Yeah, you
aired
can
it.
cut it out or get a note.
Yeah, it was just like cut it out. They could have cut it out of other airings, like fired him.
That's what you
Yeah,
made
like
a mistake.
I was on a game. I was just on a game show on ABC.
But it was also, by the way, it was like duck sauce. Like he didn't even really say it because he was Asian. Like it was funny, and he kind of just realized, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said on primetime TV, I think Ian Carmel says to me, "You look like Freddie Mercury." I go, "Healthy or AIDS or something like that." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone said, "Cut." And the producers came up to me and go, "You can't say that." And I go, "What?
AIDS?
Yeah. Or sick or healthy,
Network
Freddie
TV?
Mercury. It was a network show.
Well, they could have just cut it later.
I know, they did.
Ah.
Yeah, but why can't they do that in the DiStefano
Yeah, why
situation?
are you? Yeah. You know what? It's just like you hired me. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you also mixed up person of color with colored people.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best.
And
What was that?
he was.
I was
it
on this game
for
show.
a game show, and I was in the audience, and I honestly I combusted in my
You
seat.
said like colored people? You
Yeah,
said colored.
and on the show was Venus Williams. It was
Oh,
Keegan Michael
God.
Key, and they were talking about. He wanted to make a joke about how he didn't think black people went to the Renaissance Fair, and instead of saying black or instead.
As one does when there's black people around. As one does. Hey, there's black people. Let's talk about their.
I was trying to make a point on that. You know what I mean? I don't see black people go to the Renaissance Fair.
And he was high. He was high out of his mind.
I was high out of
He
my
in the
mind,
Middle
too.
of a relapse.
I was in my relapse.
and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
couldn't get his words out. And he's like, yeah, because he points at like Venus, and he was like, he was.
I need help. I
Yeah,
really need help.
Here, paper towels right there.
Oh my God. Why are we even talking about this?
I don't know. I have no idea how
What
it came
was
up.
his game show?
It was a.
It was a game show called Game On, right?
I can't believe that just happened. Yeah.
And it was Keegan Michael Key hosted it. It just came out. It was
Are
like
you insane?
yeah. And it was me and Rob Gronkowski, right? And it was Venus Williams and Ian Carmel, and every episode is us competing against each other in athletics.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Right.
I saw that on your Instagram. I was like, woo!
Yeah,
Bobby's got bills.
yeah.
I mean, that was brutal. That was really upsetting.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So it's like,
Falling with the stars. Is that what it's called?
I know. So I'm on this game show, and the reason why it was
God.
it was what's his name?
Who?
The talk show host?
Oh, Keegan?
No, the other one.
Oh,
Like,
James Corden.
James Corden, right? James Corden, and Ben, right?
Uh-huh.
They call me into their office and they go, "We really want you to be in this," right? And I said, "Why?" And they go, because we love your podcast.
And you're Asian.
And you're Asian.
We need
you
an
feel
Asian
you feel the thing.
person, yeah.
Also, you could just do what you do in your podcast. And that's when I knew, oh, they don't listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't
for
know,
sure.
right?
For
Because
sure.
so I
sure.
show up and I start doing what I do on my podcast, and every time I do it, they go, "What are you doing?" Right? So it's like, and I was saying that I don't see black people.
Yeah,
and
but
then what I say?
You just had a slip of the tongue. Like, it was a mistake. And so you meant to say person of color, and then you said colored people, and everyone would clutch their pearls. They were like, oh!
You say black people?
Yeah, you can say black people.
Why didn't you just say black people?
I think he was
I just
trying to
said
be
color.
like
Panicked.
Yeah,
panicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, Hollywood morons started saying like actors of color. Like I've heard a couple things that have confused me.
Yeah.
And made me like say something racist where you're like, I had it right before.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, you can see in your peripheral producers. Yeah, that's the show, right? You can see producers.
I don't know why they made you so short.
I'm short because I'm short.
You're barely-
I'm standing next to Rob Gronkowski.
But by
dude.
the way, you're not even that short. Like
Yeah.
I think that's. Are you in a
They
hole?
photoshopped that.
That is the shittiest poster I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's like cartoonishly terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, you can see in your peripheral.
Did someone make that in like iMovie?
No, that was that was on the billboard.
That's a professional network
Yeah,
marketing
yeah,
person.
yeah.
I think that's the same person that made the Whitney billboard.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for doing the podcast.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for driving here.
That was so funny.
And I really we're gonna have you back more often.
You know what? No, or don't.
I want to.
I just want to let you know that I get jealous.
No, and I'm gonna let you know that I get afraid to ask.
I know, but that we're past that.
And now that I
been
know
through that.
that,
We've been through
knowing
that.
is half the battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been
So
through that. I wouldn't do this if it didn't benefit me. How about that?
no, I think you would.
And I don't do anything that. You know what? You're right.
I think you
you're
would.
right. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think
I
you
shouldn't
would.
have said that.
Yeah.
But how about this? I never do anything I don't want to do.
I know
Finally
that.
in my life,
That's
because
true.
you're codependent and do things you don't want to do
Yeah.
because you want people to like you, but don't put that shit on me.
So thank you so much for coming here. It was a good podcast. The reason why, you're just really helping us out in a pinch.
Oh, did someone cancel?
No, it wasn't
No.
a cancel.
It
It's
felt
just-
a little bit like 7:30 on Tuesday.
No, it wasn't a
No.
cancel at all. It's just that I'm going to be in Hawaii.
Yeah. So we're
I'm going
trying
to
to
Hawaii.
stockpile.
Are you gonna go work
Yeah, I'm doing working there.
that thing where the guy yelled at you?
No, yeah.
Yeah, same job.
Same job.
Or also where that guy.
Same guy.
No,
Did you tell her about when that guy randomly pulled out like a nose hair? Was it a nose hair or
I
something
feel like
like
this
that?
lighting
Well,
is
white hair,
bad on
right?
me.
oh yeah.
No, the
yeah.
lighting is very okay.
Yeah, what
on
show
here.
was that when that happened?
Hang on, maybe not that scene.
What show
though.
was that? What show was that when they did that?
It was there. Remember
Oh,
when
yeah.
he was like, it wasn't even a nose hair. It was a white hair. You had a white a mustache, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't like it, and so he just went and he just
Yeah, a makeup guy just comes out with tweezers, not tweezers, but like a wrench.
pliers.
Pliers, grabs onto a white hair without even asking me, and just plucks it out of my face.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Bad
but
job.
same
He's
show.
going back to that.
You know that
Same
women have to do that to themselves every day.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And but ask me. Don't come out of nowhere. This fucking wrench came out of.
It's amazing how actors are looked at as children. They're looked at as children that have to be handled.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how actors get too much respect from people and not enough respect from coworkers. It's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. When I did a show when I created it and I go in the writer's room, and if I had been acting that day, I'd go in the writer's room and they'd be like, here she is. It's like, I wrote this. Like, just
Yeah,
the fact that I was in front of a camera and pretending and playing playtime,
Yeah.
they just can't take you seriously.
Or they think that it's like glorious. Have you ever been? I've been in a movie
Yeah.
where like, the camera's on me and there's cockroaches, right,
Yeah.
and mold,
Yeah.
right.
But
and
they
then-
don't respect us when we're performing. It's amazing.
Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and give Whitney Cummings a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We did it.
Make
an
sure you
amazing
check out our podcast, Good For You with Whitney. Bop, bop, bop.
Bye, I love you.
Bobby's been doing it. That was another Whitney episode. I believe, guys, that was actually I feel like that was her second time here. I'm not sure, but
It's second.
I believe it was her second, which is crazy. So we should have her on more often, like we discussed. Slut Friends, lots of fun bonus content over at Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, Khalyla talking to the troll, what we were talking about in the podcast, where she called her actual troll, is actually at Patreon. So if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/belly. Also, there is a Jules interview of Khalyla right now. So at Patreon, it's Khalyla week. Basically, it's like Shark Week, but just a lot of Coloco rap.
Oh no.
No, it's a good thing, Khalyla. A few surprises in there, and part 1 of the long-awaited singing competition is out this week. Check that out, guys. You guys submitted. I'll just let Khalyla say it. Was it fun, Khalyla, watching those?
I'm gonna say this, you guys. The video will speak for itself, but Bobby and I were so emotional. At first, we were like, "Oh, it's gonna be like just, a fun thing that we watch," but it got so emotional for us because I never stopped to think about how much effort these people put into
Time.
this.
Yeah.
Or that they address us like when in the beginning of the videos we're like, "Hi, Bobby and Khalyla," and that they're saying our names like that. I don't know. It really touched my heart, and I thought that I can't be a judge in this. So we tried our best to judge, but ultimately I decided, well, you'll see. Go to our Patreon
Wow.
and find out.
This girl, she knows how to cut a promo. Jesus, give her to the UFC.
Be sure to disclaimer that it's either coming out last week or next week, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys. It's coming out at some point. There we go. That's a very TigerBelly.
This is ahead of time. We don't know when. Yeah.
It could be out. We don't know. Maybe next week. But also, that's just only the part 1. So get ready because there's also more parts to the singing competition. Anyways, thanks to our sponsors, Manscaped and Hims. Add some swag to your sagging bag. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code TigerBelly. The best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some. George Kimmel IV. Go to forhams.com/belly. Get your questions on TigerBelly by emailing us at adviceonhelpful@gmail.com. We're looking for something out of the ordinary or that won't piss off Whitney. Strange coworkers, weird family members, alien encounters. You can email us at adviceonhelpful@gmail.com. Follow George at George_Kimmel, Bobby at Bobby Lee Live, Khalyla at Calamity K, myself at Gilbert. Follow us on TigerBelly on Instagram at TigerBelly. We love you guys so much. If you guys are like, man, they had that merch, get ready. There's some more stuff coming down the pipeline. Oops, shouldn't have said that. Or should I have? We don't know. Bye, guys.